What's going on, guys? Welcome to Inside the Horseshoe. My name is Matt, and tomorrow is the final preseason game between the Colts and the Bengals. And I figured I would share what I'm looking for in tomorrow's game. Now, before we do that, if you're new, if you haven't already, I would greatly appreciate if you would click that subscribe button. Also, click the bell icon. That way, you're notified when I upload a video or when I go live. If you like the video, smack that like button. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at horseshoe_pod. There is a link in the description down below. So, tomorrow, no starters are going to play. That includes Anthony Richardson. I do disagree. I think he should play and get reps. They're saying they don't want to risk a potential injury because he is one play away from potentially going into the game. So we're going to see the threes and the fours, maybe some twos as well in tomorrow's game. So I'm going to talk about what I'm looking for in the game tomorrow, and we're going to start offensively speaking. First thing I'm watching is the quarterback battle. Riley Leonard, Jason Bean. Riley Leonard is going to start the game. Jason Bean is going to play all of the second half. So they'll both get about a half for each one of them. And I'm watching because this is to see who's going to be QB3. You know, this game I do think will play a factor in who's going to make the roster overall, who's going to make the 53. If I had to guess right now, I feel like, and I think a lot of people would agree, I feel like it's Riley Leonard. I think Riley Leonard is going to beat QB3. I mean, he's starting the game. He played in the first preseason game while Jason Bean did not. Jason Bean has only played one drive in the second, or in the preseason in general, and that was in the second preseason game. So I do think it's going to be Riley Leonard who's going to win the job. But hey, I'm not at the practices. I didn't go to training camp. I didn't watch those two in camp or in practice. So I don't know. Maybe the games themselves aren't actually reflecting who is winning that battle. But I do think this game is going to make a pretty big impact as far as who's going to end up making the 53-man roster. I believe it's Riley. It could be Jason Bean. Either way, whoever doesn't make the roster, if they clear waivers, they're going to be on the practice squad. So it's not like they're just going to be cut and they're going to have to go figure something out. No, if they clear waivers, hey, we'll sign you back on the practice squad. But as far as who's going to make the 53, it's only going to be three quarterbacks. We know it's going to be Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, and then one of these two. I feel it's going to be Riley Leonard, but I am curious about how both play tomorrow. How does Riley play as the starter in his first preseason game? I'm very curious about that. Second thing I'm going to be watching is the offensive line depth. Again, no starters. These guys are playing for roster spots. I want to see them protect the quarterback, give them time to throw the football. I want to see them open up some running lanes for the running backs as well. Obviously, probably two of these guys, maybe three, will end up making the 53-man roster because you're going to have five for your starters, and then you're going to have your swing tackle, you're going to have your swing guard, and then you'll have like a center. So I'm very curious to see how the depth looks when it comes to the offensive line. I am a tad concerned with our offensive line in general. However, if they play well, I'll feel better about the season. I want to see how these guys look because, hey, if they play well, I'll feel somewhat good about our depth as well. So that's one thing I'm going to be watching for. The last thing I'm going to be watching for in tomorrow's game on the offensive side is going to be the tight ends. Look, I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Mo or Tyler Warren in tomorrow's game. I'm pretty sure the tight ends we're going to see are Will Mallory, Andrew Ogletree, and Jelani Woods. They're going to sign 4 tight ends. Like, they're going to bring them into the 53. Who's going to be that one left out? That's what I'm curious about. If I had to guess, Will Mallory's going to make the 53, and then it comes down to Andrew Ogletree or Jelani Woods. If I had to guess right now, I think it's close, but I'm leaning towards Andrew Ogletree making a 53. I think having somebody like Jelani Woods would be beneficial. And who knows, maybe they do sign 5. I think that'd be crazy. But I think they're going to go with 4. And if I had to guess right now, it's going to be Mallory and it's going to be Ogletree that make the 53-man roster. But you never know. That's why I'm going to be watching the tight ends in tomorrow's game, because I want to see, can Jelani Woods gain some momentum? Is Jelani Woods going to be out there earlier than, say, an Andrew Ogletree or a Will Mallory? Because last week he was the last tight end. Are we going to see him come in earlier? Are we going to see him come in before one of the other two? That's something I'm very curious about. If he does, then okay, I think we got a legit battle. If not, I think we know who our 1 through 4 are going to be. Now let's move on to defense. Defensive line, I want to see that depth. I want to see them bring pressure on the quarterback. I want to see them stop the run. That's something I'm also concerned about, is the defense's ability to stop the run. Can they do it? That's the question. If they're able to get in there, stop the run, don't let them get like 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5. Have them be in like 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 10, stuff like that. I want to see them stop the run game. I want to see them have success against that, because obviously that is a concern. Also, can they get pressure? That's what I want to see, because we may have injuries on our defensive line this season. So I want to see the depth. Are they able to get out there, and are they able to get to the quarterback? They don't have to sack them every time, but can you get pressure? Can you make the quarterback get a little, I guess scattered is the best way to put it. Can you have the quarterback confused? Can you make them rush into things? That's something I'm very curious about. And hopefully they're able to do that. Hopefully we come away from this game and we're like, okay, our defensive line looks like they're going to be able to get pressure and stop the run. That's what we want to see. So that's one thing I'm watching for. The last thing I'm going to watch for on the defensive side is going to be the secondary, the cornerbacks. How do they do against their man? Can they, cover them well? Are they going to, just get burnt? Those are things I'm going to be watching for, because as you know, we have a bit of an injury bug in the cornerback room. So can our cornerbacks get out there and stop their man from beating them? Can they stay on them? Can they cover them? That's what I'm very curious about. So yeah, those are the things I'm going to be watching for in tomorrow's game. That's going to do it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Matt, Bleed Blue. I'll see you, I think, Sunday. I think Sunday we're going to upload my prediction for who's going to make the 53. So that's probably when I'll see you. I got to see when the deadline is, when they have to start putting together their 53 and releasing players. So until then, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you watch one of these other 2 videos. They're cool. Also, if you're new, please click the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. I greatly appreciate your support.